Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 235, Emily and Max. The morning sun cast long, dancing shadows as Emily strolled through the park. A gentle breeze carried the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the cheerful chirping of birds filled the air. Willow Creek, her quaint hometown, was a place where time seemed to slow down and worries faded away. Accompanying Emily on her walk was Max, her loyal Labrador, whose tail wagged incessantly with joy. Today was different. A cloud of sadness seemed to hang over the park. Amidst the laughter of children and the relaxed chatter of adults, Emily heard a soft sob. Curiosity piqued, she followed the sound to a small, trembling figure huddled by a grand old oak tree. A little girl, perhaps 4 or 5 years old, sat on the grass, her tiny hands clutching a worn-out teddy bear. Tears streamed down her face, and her lower lip quivered uncontrollably. Emily knelt down beside the girl. "Hello there," she said softly. "What's wrong?" The girl looked up, her eyes filled with despair. "I lost Dolly," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Emily's heart ached for the child. She knew how important a lost toy could be. "Don't worry," she reassured her, trying to sound cheerful. "We'll find her, I promise." Emily knelt down beside the girl, her heart aching for the little one's distress. "Don't worry," she said softly, trying to sound reassuring. "Let's find Dolly." The girl looked up, her big, tearful eyes filled with hope. "Really?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Emily nodded. "Of course," she replied, giving her a gentle smile. "Can you tell me what Dolly looks like?" The girl sniffled and wiped her eyes with her sleeve. "She's pink and soft," she said, her voice trembling. "She has curly yellow hair and blue eyes." Emily listened carefully. It was important to have a clear picture of the doll. "That sounds like a very special doll," she said. "Don't worry, we'll find her." Max, sensing the girl's upset, nudged Emily's hand with his nose. He always seemed to know when someone was sad. Emily scratched him behind the ears. "Good boy, Max," she said. "Maybe you can help us." Together they began their search. Emily looked under benches and behind trees, while Max sniffed around eagerly. The little girl followed them, her eyes scanning the ground hopefully. Children laughed and played around them, but Emily tried to ignore the distractions. She was determined to find Dolly. After what felt like forever, Max started barking excitedly. He was pulling at Emily's hand, his tail wagging furiously. Emily looked down and saw a small pink object half hidden in the tall grass. Could it be? Emily's heart pounded with hope. She knelt down and carefully brushed away the grass. There, nestled amongst the green blades, was a small pink doll. It was dirty and slightly torn, but it was definitely Dolly. The little girl's eyes widened in disbelief. "Dolly!" she cried, her voice filled with joy. She scooped up the doll and hugged it tightly. Tears of happiness streamed down her face. Emily smiled. She was so happy for the little girl. "I found her!" she exclaimed. The girl looked at Emily with a mixture of joy and gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Thank you so much." Emily ruffled the girl's hair. "You're welcome," she said, smiling. "I'm so glad we found Dolly." The girl hugged Dolly tightly once more, then looked up at Emily. "Can I play with you?" she asked shyly. Emily's heart melted. "Of course," she replied. "We can play with Dolly." They spent the rest of the afternoon playing in the park. The little girl laughed and smiled, and for a moment, all her worries seemed to disappear. As the sun began to set, Emily walked the girl back to her mother. The little girl waved goodbye. Dolly clutched tightly in her arms. Emily watched as the girl and her mother disappeared from sight. She felt a warm glow of happiness. She had helped someone in need, and that made her feel good. As she walked home, she couldn't stop smiling. It had been a perfect day. Vocabulary notes: tranquility, peacefulness and calmness. Example, the park was filled with tranquility. Meandered, walked slowly without a clear direction. Example, Emily and Max meandered slowly through the park. Piqued, stimulated interest or curiosity. Example, curiosity piqued Emily's interest. Huddled, crouched together for warmth or protection. Example, a little girl was huddled by the tree. Despair, a feeling of complete hopelessness. Example, the girl's eyes were filled with despair. Reassured, made someone feel confident and less worried. Example, Emily reassured the girl that they would find the doll. Sniffled, inhaled noisily through the nose, often while crying. Example, the girl sniffled and wiped her eyes. Eagerly, with great enthusiasm and excitement. Example, Max sniffed around eagerly. Distractions, things that prevent someone from concentrating. Example, Emily tried to ignore the distractions. Disbelief, inability to believe something. Example, the girl's eyes widened in disbelief. Gratitude, thankfulness. Example, the girl looked at Emily with gratitude. General vocabulary: loyal, faithful and supportive. Incessantly, without stopping. Determined, having made a firm decision. Disappeared, vanished from sight. Story written by Google Gemini AI. Image created by Copilot AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.